And she'd been a staple at the Chicago Tribune for more than a decade. I'll be speaking live with Candace Jordan after the cancellation of her column and what her road ahead is going to look like.
I want to cover every single one, big or small, because everybody does something that's good, equally good, even though they might not have the coverage.
That is Candace Jordan. During my profile on her earlier this year, the former Playboy bunny turned entrepreneur has her hands on the pulse of our city, promoting philanthropic events to raise money for nonprofits and so much more. But after 11 years as the columnist for the Chicago Tribune, her column, Candid Candace, is no more. It was just canceled. That doesn't mean we won't be seeing or hearing from her anymore. Candace Jordan joins us via Zoom now to talk about her experience. Good morning to you, Candace. Nice to see you. Oh, we lost your audio, so I'm going to ask you to lean over and turn your audio on for me. Oh, there you are. I think I just heard you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You sound beautiful. Okay.
I'll sit closer.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so I want to keep this positive because that's really who you are. But tell me what happened at the Tribune and how you got the word.
Well, it was after 9 years that I had my Candid Candace column. And, you know, it was like an awful month. It's a month from hell. We lost our dog. My husband had a very bad health scare. This is all in the space of 2 weeks. And then they called to tell me that they're canceling my column. So it was like the perfect storm. I figured now what else could happen. But, you know, I guess they just decided that their readers weren't interested in hearing about the nonprofit community, which is what my column covered. And, you know, quite frankly, I think in this era of all this discontent and all this bad news, that a column like mine would be exactly what you would want. I mean, it champions a wonderful community here in Chicago, and it gives a spotlight to these marvelous nonprofits. And I'm just disappointed that they didn't see things that way.
And I know other people are too, because I saw people posting on your Facebook page and saying, you know, what a shame for the nonprofit community, because you would work hard to kind of profile the nonprofits that a lot of people had never heard about. But you're a kind of a victim of circumstance as well. The Tribune's been going through a lot of changes, and other columnists have been canceled or they have left. Do you think this is just part of what's going on in our world right now when it comes to newspapers? Yeah,
sadly, I do think that's the case. And, you know, it's their decision, of course, to do what they did. But yeah, I think it's a sign of the times, quite frankly. And I do think there's a place for this type of coverage. I think it's necessary, like I said, especially now more than ever. And, you know, I will continue to champion this community. I mean, that's been my heart and soul since 1974, since I moved to Chicago. And, you know, I'll do it on my blog, candidcandace.com, that I've had since 2008. Which is actually how the Tribune found me, because I was one of the only people covering the social scene, even at that time. So, you know, it's kind of ironic that, you know, times have changed that way, but they will not change for me, nor my support for this community. And I mean, recently, and I've covered and hosted a lot of virtual events recently. I've hosted the Pause Chicago. They had a wonderful beach party. I hosted one for the Service Club of Chicago that I love. I've appeared virtually for Misericordia, Lumen Arts, the Silver Lining Foundation.
Oh, I know you've done a lot. I know you've done a lot.
So
What's your favorite? What's your favorite column over all these years that you will? And I know that's like asking who's your favorite child, but is there one particular that sticks out? Something a little different.
You cannot ask me that question, Sylvia. They all stick out. But you know how much I love animals. So, you know,
Yes.
Pause Chicago is probably the really closest to my heart. And that's where actually we got our little dog that we recently lost. So that's the first one that comes to mind, but there's too many to mention. They all have something that's so special and unique, like the pictures that you're showing. I mean, I've made friends in this community. This is my family now, and I'm not about to let them go. So you'll see a lot more coverage, and it will continue.
I have absolutely no doubt candidcandace.com is the place where you're going to continue, and I'm sure new doors will be opening. And other venues, that's what I said. I'm sure other doors will be opening.
Yeah, I've got some very interesting calls already.
Excellent.
So we'll see what happens.
Okay,
next.
Well, Candace, we can't wait to see where you go next, but so happy to have you on this morning. Good luck with your new future ahead. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.